Hey everyone, this is Uthris and welcome back to another episode of Medieval Engineers. We're continuing what we have been for the past 10 or so episodes, working on our awesome Citadel. Last episode we built the aviary and its tower and everything. In between episodes I went ahead and kind of finished off this larger home here. It's missing some details, of course, like the inside of the lower floor. And then I expanded on the main tower. And this tower is how you go up in a level in that direction. I mean, you can access everything from going up here, but it is a bit of a roundabout way to go about it. And then also the tower is the main access point to getting up towards the airship deck. And the airship is going to be up on another tower, and I built this kind of aqueducts kind of walkway looking thing as just a pretty cool bridge to kind of greet people. Like they'll get off the airship and this is kind of the first thing they'll see as they walk across. I mean, some homes housing some cool battlement, cliffside features as they walk around, and then start heading down towards their final destination. Let's head up, and this main tower is pretty much what we're going to be doing today. It might be a longer process. I'm still not 100% sure on the aesthetics that I want, which is a bit of a problem when you're trying to build something because, well, you're just not going to have a really smooth time figuring out all the details. But if I were to look at some reference pictures, it would help a lot. I just haven't had time to do that research. But I'm going to take a little bit of inspiration from like Dan D&D, or I believe that's his name. He has some really good builds on the Steam Workshop. If you guys haven't seen any of his stuff, it's all highly rated and very detailed in terms of structure. I mean, every structure he builds is pretty much 100% complete. I kind of lose patience and don't try and work out every detail, so I can't really claim that feat. But what I do need is this kind of blank wooden truss. You might be wondering, well, why do you need this wooden truss here? And really, it's just to make this staircase make any sort of sense. So as you can see, we're just going to go straight up here, and the staircase is going to go a couple stories to pretty much the complete other side of the tower, like so. And then it's going to plateau off here, and we might have some type of cooler structure in this area. I'm also thinking about adding some staircases to access this point here, but I don't necessarily have to. I mean, this could all just be structural and void if I really wanted it to. For example, I could probably just angle it completely. That might be cool. No, I have a feeling that's just too much brick. I really need to get away from that aesthetic, I think. So this initial floor, and this is going to be kind of the weight-bearing section here is pretty elaborate. We're going to work in some nice wooden details, I think, in this stone detail. Or stone inlay, I guess, that we're kind of constructing here using archways and pillars. We'll see how structural integrity enjoys this building, because right now it's probably not enjoying it a whole lot. But once the mountain is recarved back and hugging some of the structure, I think it'll be just fine. Let's add some more pillars. Yeah, it needs fully supported. There we go. And then also let's add the arch. Where are you? Just to try and get more interesting shapes out of these stone details. Let's kind of make a corner here. And this might support a nice staircase that we're going to be continuing around this area. Let's see. It's pretty cool. Get up here, and then come on. Wooden floor and staircases really, they don't go together very well. They don't fit very flush and have some issues. Tell you what, I don't actually like these. You'll find this episode to be very, very experimental. There's going to be a lot of revisions and things like that. It's just part of the game when you're doing a let's play or let's build. In this case, there's just a lot of trial and error that I'm having to go through. But I feel like this is more interesting than you guys seeing the same house build pretty much every episode. That seems to be what things have boiled down to lately, so it feels pretty good to get away from that. Come on, there we go. Let's check how the structural integrity is doing. Obviously the weak spot at the moment is going to be this little wooden section here. But I felt like this little plateau needed a nice view as they come down. Though they are viewing a lot outside there, but this is going to be covered up using a lot of timber. So for example, okay, that's a little off. There we go. And You can see we can put a fair amount of just little details using these to look like their own walls. Let's look from this side. Looks okay. Could even do this to give it just another nice little frame of something different. And then maybe even some type of stepped effect here. Yeah, something like that. It's just kind of a regal looking detail to have on these type of builds. You can build whole walls using that kind of stuff. Now, it doesn't really add to the structural integrity very much, if at all, from what I understand. So you have to be very careful still about your placement of this kind of stuff. Let's see, I need stone supports for this little section here. Let's just do that real quick. I'm thinking maybe the best way to do it is we put these pillars here and then this arch kind of coming off the wall. That's just a nice looking support structure for our staircase. Yeah, something like that. And then you can even throw these slope battlements, I think. Just to carry down the stone effect. I mean, you're gonna get that little bit of a flashing texture glitch, but it's okay. I mean, to cover that up, you can probably even throw these beams. Just like so, over key areas that's bothering you too much. And you can almost make your own detailed support structure that is separate than the normal utility. You can even probably throw in these things. Maybe. Come on. Work with me. No. You don't want to work at all. I really wish there was a better way to lay these out, because you can see the hitbox of these angled pieces are just so big. Those empty areas, you can't build anything onto, so they become almost a nuisance. But you could probably almost do something just like this, if you really wanted to. and connect it there. Just to kind of carry the shape down to follow the staircase. Just a little bit better. Anyways, that's just to prove a point. I wasted enough time doing a minor detail when we need to do the whole structure here. See, that's the reason why I don't start with details like that, or in fact I even do them at all, at least at the moment, because I kind of basically end up wasting precious time worrying about that over getting the actual structure done. How does this even work? Like this? Yep. There we go. Up to the ceiling we go. And there, and there. Gotta put our round support back. Like so. Then I think when we get to this level, we'll bring everything in just one cube and then keep going up. So, for example, we can actually just kind of cap this off using this technique. Just add kind of a battlement here. And then we can make it taller and add some sort of docking bridge, I guess, to the outside of it. Up we go, up we go. Bring up the walls. Alright, that's a good base start. Attach our battlements, and then we need the angled version. Not right. There we go. Get this attached on the outside of that block. That might not look good after all. Tell you what, we'll get rid of them. How about the inside? Inside's better. And we can add buttressing out from it. We can add a whole lot of things. You can do arches even out from the walls, or if you want, you can start with slopes. Probably this height is good. Yeah, you can do slopes into, we need kind of a different slope to kind of fit in there to seal off that gap. So you can see we had a fill block and then an actual buttress support. You can just bring that down all the way, and that actually adds a decent amount of strength onto the wall. You can see that this area in the middle used to be orange a little bit ago, and now it's a little bit more yellow, and we've even added more weight onto it. So buttressing can help weight distribution, just like in real life. It's something that, you know, you got to utilize in key areas to help out. Alright, this has gone on for 20 minutes. I am going to get the shell of this done. Probably not the full staircase, and then we'll be back. I can show you guys kind of where it's going. You guys can let me know afterwards what you think, if you like it, and we'll go from there. Okay everyone, so I went ahead and made the first pass of the airship dock, you could say, and it's looking pretty good. We're having some structural integrity issues that I need to iron out a little bit. As you can see, we have a spot up here that's just randomly red. I do not know why, but it exists. So that's going to be a top priority pretty much to iron out. And then everything else is kind of in the orange, which isn't very good, but it's working for now. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it today, and I'll probably do even more work on it in between episodes. But if you go ahead on the inside, you can see it's been filled in quite a lot. So let me just kind of fly up through here. Some of the staircasing needs some work, and of course we need to add kind of the wooden details on all the walls, but that's just something to do at another time. So it kind of wraps around in on itself a lot, which is pretty cool. Kind of keeps with the theme of the rest of the town. And then these kind of flatter areas, this will just be storage. People are waiting to send a good amount of supplies out of the Citadel or in. They could store it on this level. They can also store it a little bit on this level. I might build some sort of lift mechanism or crane out on this deck so people can get supplies up the tower fairly easily. And then just a simple double helix kind of staircase up to the main boarding area. And these decks, I'm thinking about putting some sort of drawbridge on them, but that actually folds. So we're not going to do this long solid structure, I don't think, like this one. I'm going to try and do one that can kind of fold up a little bit and make it nice and tight, because the airship, I would think, would be parked kind of off in the distance, like either on this side or on this side. And it does look a little out of place right now because it's a very defensive looking structure when the rest of it's not so much, and it is pretty tall. It looks a little bit different than the aviary, which is nice. I was going to put the same kind of box roof on it, but I felt like you wouldn't be able to tell really what it was. But as I was saying, it looks defensive because the castle's not here. The castle's going to go on this plateau. It's going to be a very defensive point, and once that's in there, you guys, I think it'll just balance it out. So you guys will hopefully like that. And anyways, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. If you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more medieval engineer goodness, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.